Commanders Giants, and I think this might be one of those deals where all of us pick the Commanders. It's going to be hard to see if anybody picks the Giants. I got a text from one Jason Bishop, who is 6-4 picking Commanders games so far.
All right.
He has the Commanders winning 27-13. That's a comfortable 2-touchdown win. I told him we're always, like, if I was to look back, we're always very similar. I have the Commanders winning 30-13. I think, look, they've been playing good offensive football of late. The defense is a question mark, but you're playing a team that cannot score.
Right.
They can't even score 2 touchdowns a game. They're actually well below that. Aren't they below 12 points a game?
I believe that's the case, yeah.
They have Tommy DeVito, a quarterback. He's an undrafted third-string quarterback. He didn't look particularly good, even though he did throw 2 garbage touchdowns late in the game.
Yeah.
If you read the reports out of New York, they say they just didn't even look comfortable. Now, the one thing he has going for him, I heard a beat reporter from New York on with Grant and Danny, I believe it was, or maybe it was B. Mitch and Finley yesterday, and pointed out accurately that maybe the pass rush isn't going to be what it was a month ago when they faced the Commanders because you don't have Chase Young and Montez Sweat to worry about. But they just don't have any weaponry.
Yeah.
I think Hyatt is questionable.
They do have one weapon in Saquon. They do have one weapon.
They do have him. He hasn't scored since week 7, and he tweaked his ankle in the Dallas game, and he carries a questionable tag into this matchup. So the one guy that they can actually lean on isn't even close to 100%.
Look, they lost to the Bears, which they shouldn't have, and they lost to the Giants the first time. This would be the worst loss of the season.
By far.
That's why I think if they lose this and they lose to Dallas, that Josh might have to step in.
I would fire him immediately, but of course I would have fired him in the offseason.
I think this game is a laugher for the Commanders. I think they throttle the Giants. The Giants have punted. They know that their season is dead. They're dead in the water. They're angling for the top pick in the draft. They may not get it, but that's kind of where they're headed. I like the Commanders big, 31-7.
Hey, Valdez, can one of you guys check to see, while we're chatting about this, what are the tickets going for in the secondary market? Because as JP pointed out earlier in the week, this is one of the few games that we haven't heard them boast about a sellout, right?
In fact, I saw an ad. I think I saw a tweet, or maybe it was on Instagram or Facebook, from the Commanders trying to sell tickets for this game. I don't think this is a sellout.
Because part of it, like over the past few years at least, you would have a big Giants fan invasion coming in with the Giants just being dead with a third-string quarterback going nowhere. You're not, I mean, maybe you'll have some Giant fan representation there, but it's not going to be like it has been in years past.
No, my buddies,
where they're competitive.
My buddies have largely punched out.
Right. So,
I mean, they pay casual attention.
I'm going to put the attendance, I'm going to throw a dart. I'm going to say 45 to 50,000, somewhere in that range.
Wow.
Not a sellout, but a decent turnout. Because the weather's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty nice on Sunday.
Right.
And it's a winnable game for the Commanders. I think you get 45 or 50K out there.
All right, so we want to hear from you guys. This is your chance to chime in. We haven't done a lot today about it. How do you feel? They started out as like 10.5-point favorites. I've seen it as low as 8.5. I don't know what it exactly is right now. I think it's a little crazy that we're that big of favorites, even though they have this guy that's done nothing in the league playing at quarterback. They only needed 8 points to beat us last time.
I just don't understand all this money that's coming in late on the Giants. And I understand reluctance to bet on the Commanders, but like, you're really going to bet on Tommy DeVito and a hobbled Saquon Barkley? Like, I just think that's like lighting your money on fire.
I mean,
I wouldn't.
I'd stay away.
I wouldn't take the Giants plus 8 or 10 points in this matchup or any other matchup on the rest of their schedule.
Again, mentioned these stats earlier. The Giants average 11.8 points per game. The league average is 21.8. So that's a full 10 points below the league average. They average 259.2 yards per game. The league average is 332 yards per game. I mean, that is atrocious. That's, 73 yards below the league average.
I mean, the Cowboys were up 28-0 on the Giants at the half, and the only reason that they scored anything against the Cowboys because the Cowboys called off the dogs on them into the third quarter and fourth quarter.
And I think in the first 3 drives, the Cowboys didn't even score. They had one drive where they went for a 4th and goal and maybe didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I think they maybe had a turnover early. So that scoring was all after 3 drives.
Yeah. And by the way, when the spread was 9.5 in favor of the Commanders, that was the biggest spread in the Commanders' favor since 2017. Going back 6 years.
To me, it's all going to be it's less about what they do offensively because they shouldn't do much. It's going to be all about how do we handle the pressure. And the last time we handled it poorly. They seem to have made adjustments. And, Sam's put together, even though they've lost 2 of their last 3, he's put together 3 pretty darn good games. He and Bieniemy seem to be hitting their stride. They've made changes in the offensive line. If they can continue and they can protect him, if he's sacked 3 times or less, I think that bodes very, very well.
He's only been sacked 7 times in the last 3 games.
Right, so he's averaging about
keep
2.5 a game. Yeah.
Then you're good.
But if they go back to sacking him 6 times, and here's the other thing that we should watch out for. So they obviously know. All you got to do is put on the tape for 2 seconds, use your brain. They're going to do quick stuff, right? 3-step drops, get rid of it. He's a shorter guy. So you're going to see a lot of batted balls, or at least the potential for batted balls, right? Yep. They're going to coach those guys up to get their big-ass arms up there. That could be very devastating, too. You can have interceptions off that. It's, wasted down.
I just think that this Giants defense is there for the taking. Look what Dak Prescott did to them last week. Look at what happened to them, I believe, in the Raiders game.
They have a better offensive line.
They've
historically had a better offensive line than us. I don't know. I think this game is dangerous.
I mean, this defense, the Giants are bringing into FedEx Field, allowed the Raiders with Aiden O'Connell to score 30 points on them a few weeks ago.
Wow.
Now, a lot of that was on the back of Josh Jacobs, who had a good game there, almost rushed for 100 yards, found the end zone twice. But this has all the makings of a big Sam Howell game, score 28 to 31 points, and just dominate a really bad opponent.
All right, talk us off the ledge or tell us why you agree. What do you think here?
Does anybody here want to go with the Giants? Drab or Valdez, what do you think happens?
If you guys back the Giants, you're certifiably
I'm not
insane.
doing that. I know it could happen because
it's not a slam dunk.
It's not a slam dunk.
I mean, the fact that we're taking it as our survivor pick is kind of crazy to me.
Valdez, you like to zag.
I'm taking the Giants.
He stole your thunder, Drabby. He always does.
I'm not. I'm looking at the forecast. I don't think it's going to be as nice as Cakes thinks. I think the 30-mile-an-hour gusts.
I thought I saw 6-mile-per-hour winds.
I literally just checked it before this segment. I'm not a meteorologist, but it looks like 30-mile-an-hour gusts on Saturday that could dovetail into early Sunday. So I'm kind of banking on the win game theory. I've kind of shoved my chips on win game.
You really have.
So right. I actually have 19-16 Giants.
All right.
And to be honest, the Commanders have no equity. They don't have any equity to blow out these teams they should. You know what I mean?
They haven't blown anybody out.
The offense has ascended in the last 3 games.
I know it has, but until they take care of business like they're supposed to,
have we blown anybody out?
I can't back them.
We haven't blown anybody out this year.
It's the same. Honestly, it's the same formula as the Bears game. I'm sorry, it is.
I mean, I don't know where Valdez is looking at.
I'm looking at AccuWeather.
I mean, I'm looking at Landover, Maryland weather. Sunday, the 19th. That's the correct date, right? Sunny, high of 59 degrees, winds, west, northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. I don't see anything about 30 miles per hour.
He believes it's going to be howling.
I have 15 miles an hour, and that's just on Friday. But the Saturday gusts are 30. That could dovetail into Sunday. I'm literally reading AccuWeather.
It's saying could dovetail, or you're adding that part?
I'm adding that part.
All right. That's your problem. You're taking Saturday's weather and you're shifting it.
Maybe get some separation.
That's what you're
doing over there.
Because
you're wishing it on Sunday.
I'm not wishing it.
It's also 13 hours into Sunday that he's pushing it to.
Our records are all close. Valdez is 6-3. Cakes is 6-4 picking Commanders games. EB and I as well as Drab, also 7-3.
Yeah, I lost my superiority with the loss last week.
Yeah, you put your neck on the line for the Commanders.
I'm
I would be tied. I would be tied if I put my play in for the Arizona game.
It's a great
I'm just
day.
saying.
Well, it could
you
be a
won't be after
separation
this week.
Sunday.
You play the music, Cakes. I'm trying to get fired up. I'm feeling very negative about this game.
EB's pick, by the way, I don't know if he's doing a bit.
So negative. Is it just because of the hangover from the first loss to the Giants? Is that what's affecting you?
Do you know what
Because
his score was?
Yes.
His score prediction?
for this game?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean,
He didn't say it on the air. I got it off air. And we'll put this up on our Instagram page, Sports Junkies Radio. I already sent the picture to Kelsey. She hooks up a nice little pretty chart. 10-9. I
Well,
mean,
here's
come on.
why.
Oh, that sounds like a bit.
That's kind of a
That's
bit,
a
but here's
full-on
why.
bit score.
The last score is 14-7. They sacked him 6 times. If we haven't solved that riddle, which we might have, but if we haven't solved that riddle, we're going to lose. We're going to lose.
You know what? Play the negative HTTR. The way you saw it. You don't deserve the good HTTR. You
Why?
deserve sad HTTR.
The loss to Seattle, which I consider to be a very mediocre team.
But it was in
Devastating.
Seattle.
I know.
Yeah, they don't have home field advantage.
They do. I don't think that's why we lost.
This is the HTTR your attitude deserves right now. Because your attitude heading into the game, I'll be honest, poor.
See, Jason has
And we've
the
already lost them, and we lose to them all the time.
Jason has the Commanders winning by 14. Drab has the Commanders, let me do the math, winning by 15. He has it 24-9. Cakes has, I have them winning by 17. Cakes has the biggest margin of victory. 24-point victory.
Like, if you believe in the offense and you believe in Bieniemy, you believe in Sam Howell, like, they should do pretty much to this team what Dak Prescott just did to them last
Yeah,
week.
but they don't have that offensive line. They don't have that kind of protection scheme. They don't have that stuff. They don't
The
have that.
offense has been, like, on a heater since the last Giants game. They're averaging, like, over 400
Yeah.
yards of offense
All
and
week,
26 points.
All Wink's going to do is look at the film and go, well, he's just getting rid of the ball in 2 seconds. All our linemen are just going to jump up and block
Yeah, well,
everything.
hopefully
and
Bieniemy
we're going to all that sideways passing. We're going to negate that.
The enemy is going to combat that.
All right.
I have confidence in Eric Bieniemy. I like the way he runs the offense. I like that he says, why would I waste time with the rushing attack when we have better weapons to throw to in the passing game? And we have a pretty good young quarterback to deliver the ball.
I hope you're right.
I'm going to be honest. This is the one week. Like, a lot of people dub me a hater. I always just say I'm a realist. I mean, more often than not, I pick against the Commanders, the Redskins, the Washington football team. And more often than not, I've been right over the years. Just I'm not a blind cheerleader. Kind of rooting against them this week because we'd get Iran
You know what?
firing.
They might even put 40
And
on
I don't
the
think them
Giants.
winning does any good for us
Because
at this point.
I think the defense could run back a pick 6 on Tommy DeVito. He's that bad.
No, I think that's true.
He's that bad.
That's true. But we're also
I mean,
not great.
When a team trots out a third-string quarterback, the defense, even though they're undermanned by trading away your top 2 pass rushers, they should dominate that guy.
All right, let's go to the
Giants are
phones.
They're bringing in a sub-pro NFL level offense and defense into this matchup, and they should take advantage of it.
Let's go to the phones. It is a Football Friday driven by your local Honda dealer, 800-636-1067. I would be interested to hear from people that are picking the Giants. We heard Valdez, he's looking at that win.
Well, he's creating.
He created
He is
it.
creating
He
a
wi-
new
he's wishing win.
weather atmosphere.
Well, that's
for
just that's
Landover this
also
weekend.
part of the equation. This team doesn't blow anyone out. They just play.
You know that the
they
last
just
team
play
they
down
won-
to their opponent.
The last game they won by 20 or more points was the last game of last year against Dallas when it meant nothing. When they won 26.
I know that's my whole point.
They
And
don't
it's just,
blow anybody out.
It's the same
somewhat-
script. It's the same script as the Bears game. Everyone talked about how the Bears were banged up, how they're just going to take care of business. This team.
That's when the offensive line was a total mess.
It just
You can throw that
It has
away.
no
Put
the
that
commander. The
aside.
Commanders have no equity. They have no blowout equity. They have no
I
win
think you're
equity.
right there. And in the end, it's a Ron Rivera-led team. So would I be stunned if they lost to the Giants and laid an egg? No.
I would
one
be
thing that's
stunned.
jumping out of me is we had Jonathan Allen on the show
I've
on
already
Monday.
been stunned.
And Jonathan Allen basically said, look, after the loss, he's like, you either pack it in or you go out and play your best. I'm going to play my best. They might have some guys that pack it in, though. I don't know.
All right, let's go. Let me see here. Let's go to Jeff in Bowie. 800-636.
It does happen.
1067. I feel like Commanders fans are punching out. We're not getting a lot of interest here. Jeff, what's up?
What's up, John? Yeah, I agree with John Feinstein. If they lose to the Giants, man, I think all bets are off. You can't lose to the Giants. I mean, I think one of you guys said it a couple moments ago, this will be the worst loss, whether they lose by 1 or 20. I mean, you just cannot lose to the Giants.
They already did.
This Sunday.
Well, this Giants
You just
iteration
cannot,
they're
man.
incapable
And
of
I'm
beating
scared
anybody
to
by
death
20.
And I'm scared to death that it's going to happen. I mean, I go way back. I'm 52 years old, Prince George's County, born and raised. I mean, I go all the way back to the glory days. Thank God I have those memories. But
Right.
I'm just.
What
this
high school
game
did you go to,
is-
Jeff?
High school, I went to Parkdale.
Parkdale. Okay, nice. Henry Hall.
There-
The
Yeah,
Henry Hall reference.
I graduated a year after Henry.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I grew up. Me, Henry, Jay Byes, we all grew up together. I know the Byes family well, so we all lived in the same neighborhood. So
Right. Very cool. All right, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it, buddy.
Henry Hall, a very
Yep,
prolific
appreciate it.
scorer and legend.
Yeah, shooting
In
legend. I
Prince
think, did
George's
he play
County.
at Texas Tech? I think that's where he played.
UTEP, maybe? I
Maybe
can't remember.
UTEP. You might be right.
I'm actually surprised. So I put it up as the, we'll call it the poll of the day, brought to you by Van Meter Homes. I think we did one earlier, but who wins on Sunday? Simply.
It should be 80% or higher Commanders.
You would think, but 26% are on the Giants right now.
I mean,
Let's
that's,
go to Mike
you
in
know what?
Haymarket.
Scaredy cat fan base. Bunch of scaredy
Well, it's
cats
true.
running around.
Oh, I'm very scared. Mike, what's up, buddy? You're on with the Junks.
Good morning, gentlemen. So, yeah, for some reason, the Giants have always got our number. Whether it's Tommy DeVito or Daniel Jones, there's no real major upgrade there. It always seems like they've got our number. Wink Martindale's going to have a field day on our offense because the enemy can't really pregame any plan that's outside of what he scripts, right? So he's not going to come out with a run. He's going to come out with the screen passes and stuff, to make up for what happened last time. But Tommy DeVito could turn the ball over on every single down, and the Commanders will still find a way to lose. So it's just because the Giants. And, your 30-mile-per-hour wind gust might come in at the wrong time, and next thing you know, it's just the way that this team plays. They don't play to win and blow anybody out to show a dominance. They play to the level of the competition, plain and simple. So I think the Giants have a possibility of winning if they are able to run the ball. But outside of that, I mean, yeah, the Commanders should win, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to blow anybody out on this one.
Man, so you're scared
Thanks,
to
buddy.
death. You're scared-
I hate
scared
when
fan
people
base.
say they play to their level of competition because it
True.
implies they're really good and they're coming down. Like, to me,
We
the
played very
Commanders
well
at their
against Philly
record
twice.
I
Played right with
know.
them.
Okay, so
If you didn't know any better,
I know.
If you didn't know any better, you think they're right there.
but they're not a 9-1 team that all of a sudden plays down to the level of competition.
They lose to the Bears and they lose to the Giants. They do exactly
they're
that.
4-6. That's exactly what they feel like to me. It's why I picked them 7-10 before the season. It's what they feel like. So to imply like they play down to the level of competition.
They play down to the competition and they play up
But
to the
as
competition.
mediocre as the Commanders
They're
are, and
mediocre.
trust me, they're
They
mediocre.
are.
Yes.
That's what a
The
mediocre
Giants
team does.
are-
That's the
they're-
definition of mediocre.
But
They're awful.
Giants are so many levels lower now because of the injuries. Their top playmaker is limited now with Saquon Barkley. He definitely tweaked his ankle injury that had been hampering him earlier in the season. So he's not at 100%. And you got a third-string quarterback that can't get out of his own way. Like, if you can't beat this team, then why are you even showing up for the rest of the games? They should dominate and throttle this Giants outfit that's coming in. They should.
But
They
they
should turn it into an embarrassment.
They should have the first time they played them. They should have when they played the Bears. I still can't believe they lost to the Bears the way they did. That might go down as one of the most humiliating losses of my lifetime.
Dude, they've had so
but At
many.
least the Bears had pieces.
40
They
to
had
20.
Justin
They
Fields
hadn't
and
won in a
DJ
year.
Moore. But
They hadn't won in a year,
But this
Cakes.
Giants team doesn't have that. They've got a guy who's lucky to be on the roster in DeVito, and they're ragtag bunch
He's
of wide
still
receivers.
a professional athlete that can complete basic throws. There's no reason why
he's
he
a
can't
punching
beat us.
bag waiting to get sacked. And I know that this team, the Commanders, they don't have a lot of
They don't
sack
even
guys
sack people
now
anymore.
but they should still find a way. Look, Jack, if you ever want to be aggressive coming after a quarterback, this is the weekend to do it.
You know what I
Please
saw?
do it on Sunday.
I saw this stat. It blew me away. This blew me away. Jack blitzes 21% of the time.
Yeah.
Which is 12th in the league. It feels like he just sits back all the time. It's false narrative. That's fake news. He blitzes the 12th most.
Well, you can blitz and not get home.
Well, they definitely do that.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I know,
the
because you're
perception
crying
is
for them to blitz
to
more,
blitz
bring more pressure.
He pressures 12th most in
Yeah.
the league. It's a little bit more than average.
Well, DeVito's been sacked.
So I don't
11,
know-
he's been sacked 11 times in the last two games.
Makes you think it's the players and not Del Rio.
Yep.
Well, Jason's been defending Del Rio, saying, look at the defenses last year and then 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's every other year. Every other year he has a good defense.
All right, let's go to Matt in Woodbridge. Matt, what's up, buddy? You're on with the Junks.
Hey, Junks, good morning.
What's up?
Hey, listen, I think the Redskins win. They win big. I mean, this Giants team is terrible. If they can't win this one, they're not going to win any game the rest of the year. But I think Forbes and the defense have a big game. Forbes has something to play for. He got kicked out last week. He started playing better. And, this quarterback of the Giants is terrible. I think he gets an interception, maybe even a touchdown. So, anyway, I think we
that'd
win
be big. Call back if
Yep,
you
I
call
think we
that.
win big.
Call back on Monday if you call that. I like it.
Tommy DeVito averaged 3.2 yards per attempt last week against Dallas.
How many games
Do you know
has he
how
played in his
bad
life?
that is?
Yeah, how many games has he played?
He's played in 3 games.
All right.
His high water mark is 175 yards passing in a 30-6 bloodletting against the Raiders. Right. It's physically impossible for the Commanders to lose to this Giants outfit as they're currently constructed. It's impossible.
All right.
I'm gonna mark that one.
Impossible, Valdez.
Believe me, I've been
Mark it on the tape. Impossible.
Isn't that what you
what
said
can we
about
get
your
Cakes to
ping
do?
pong match with Rom?
No, I didn't guarantee victory. I had some bravado and swagger, and that was shot down.
Hey, if the Commanders lose,
Yes.
can all of us get a jar of gravy, marinara sauce, and pour it on the DeVito hater Cakes' head?
No, of course not. I'm not agreeing to those dumb, wacky, one-sided bets any longer.
No paddle.
It's not a bet. It's a bit. It's a bit,
No.
not a bet.
No bits,
We
no
can't
bets.
slap you in the face with a chicken cutlet.
I would rather you not.
Why do I do it to Valdez? He's the one who picked the Giants to win.
All right.
What? If the Skins win?
Yeah, he's.
Well, I
he's
get
wrong.
to do it to Cakes because he's the most vociferous about it.
Well,
I would take
have,
that bet.
I have conviction about the Commanders.
Take the bet.
over the
Take the
weekend.
bet.
I'll only do it if
Hold
Cakes
on,
agrees
what are
to
the-
it.
What are the parameters of the
So
bet?
this is not a one-way bet.
It's not a
bet.
one-way bet. This is what's going to happen. You versus me, mano y mano.
Yes.
All right.
Chicken cutlets.
You'll take gravy, a jar of gravy.
Okay.
Dump it on the head.
Yeah.
And then take a chicken cutlet and then slap it across the cheek
All right.
of the face.
Cooked
No.
one
While
or
your
raw?
your head is
Raw or
covered.
cooked?
I'm going to negotiate here.
Cooked. You can find like the pre-cooked
You can-
cutlets.
Let's
All right.
just do jar of marinara to the head, and then we don't need to just, humiliate with the chicken cutlet. Getting the gravy poured on your head is enough. I'll agree to that.
Marinara sauce?
Yeah, marinara sauce to the head.
Ragu?
We don't need to slap each other in the face.
Oh, get the expensive,
with
get the
chicken
Rayos.
parts.
Get the rails? I don't want to waste that rails. That's
Yeah,
like 10
no, we're
bucks.
getting ragu.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting stuff EB grew up eating.
Yeah.
Ragu.
Jonan.
I mean, I grew up
did.
eating it too.
I
He
used to use ragu pizza
He
I
sauce.
loves
actually
to hype up
preferred
the ragu.
I used
from
to
back in
prefer
the day.
ragu.
What? You won't do the cutlet?
I don't want to do the cutlet.
That's pretty good, dude.
The marinara is fine.
Marinara.
All right.
You
all
want,
right,
you want to get slapped in the face with the cutlet because it's more likely to happen to you than it is to me.
Right.
I just think it's
Somebody's jealous of all those ADs Drab got last weekend.
What were the ADs you got?
Well, he was
I can't
just
remember.
the paddle.
The paddle, the big bet.
Oh.
Everybody.
You think
Yeah.
Valdez is trying to get in
Yeah,
there?
he's trying to get in.
Yeah, all right. You can take a paddle, too, if you want.
I'm going to be so upset if that meathead Tommy DeVito beats the Commanders and I'm wearing a bottle of ragu on Monday. It's going to be the
Except
worst.
on Monday, we'll be able to talk about Ron being canned.
That's probably true. That'll help.
That'll be a
ease-
relief.
That would be
That'll
amazing.
ease the pain a little
That would be
bit.
amazing.